using projection. Projection ain't dead. Okay, let's, here's Crestron. Crestron introduced a new One Beyond series of cameras. You may recall they bought One Beyond a couple of years ago. Here's the Crestron booth at ISE 2024. It's Gary K. We're doing a live show floor tour for Rave TV. They're showing, here's their shading and lighting systems. This side of the booth is home, obviously. This part of the booth is home, the high-end residential stuff. The other side is commercial. As we enter here, we move into the commercial products. There's the Flex product line, the UC product line. There's your One Beyond, new One Beyond products. We're in their meeting room area, obviously. Here's their networked AV speaker DMX, the NVX AV over IP product, as well as speakers they're showing here. NVX are going to ship their 1 millionth product this year. And sometime in 2024, I saw the announcement of that today. Came out for them. Here's the new One Beyond camera. First time the One Beyond cameras look like Crestron now. Got the new Crestron design elements showing their compatibility Zoom, Teams. Here's their here's the Flex stuff they're showing in here. It's packed. We're not gonna walk in there. We'll get trapped. We're gonna have to walk around this. Let's go around. Again, this is Gary K. We're here at ISE 2024 doing a show floor tour of Hall 3, which is the Pro AV Hall. Televic does conferencing systems. So if you're doing large conferences and think about the UN, they use Televic. Here's Harman, which is JBL. They introduced AMX division of Harman, actually introduced new SVSI AV over IP products here at ISE 2024. Again, we're doing a live show floor tour. There's the Harman booth. Here's Vestal. Vestal is a Egyptian owned display company that is getting ready to enter the North American market, but they have consumer televisions all the way through commercial displays. They're showing their digital signage ecosystem here at the show. Check it out. Check it out. This is a company that maybe you haven't heard of yet, but you're about to hear a lot about if you're in North America. They have been very successful. Look at that 98-inch vertically mounted display over there. Isn't that beautiful? That's digital signage. It's a non-glare. So it's got a non-glare coating on it, sort of like a matte coating. It looks beautiful. They've also got solar and battery backup systems. They're in a big segment of the market for energy efficiency. Here's Sony with their Sony's focused on their digital signage products here. The Bravia digital signage products. Of course, they have projection too. Sharp NEC. Interesting enough, in North America, they're just called Sharp now, but in Europe, it's still called Sharp NEC. I love they have like a little impressive entryway system, which is using a cube LED, like you'd see in a scoreboard in an arena. Samsung, as I mentioned to you, announced a collaboration with Crestron today, as well as a collaboration with Cisco today. A lot going on with Samsung. We'll go in their booth and shoot individual product videos. Kramer introduced a new AV over IP product line today. Unilumin back there in the back. They're a Barco LED partner. Sennheiser's back there. They have their new video bar product here. Actually, a lot of people have video bars. Remember yesterday on Rave TV, we were in the Barco booth and I showed you the ClickShare bar. That's a big segment of the market. Sennheiser's is unique because it has Dante integrated into it and they're building a larger system around it. Look, we're going to shoot into. You can see all of our coverage at ravepubs.com/ISE.
Hey, thanks so much, Gary. We are back on the show floor in Hall 3. Still day 2 of ISE. I'm here with Lorenzo Depoy.
Hi.
Of K-Array. So how's it going, first of all?
It's great. It's been a great show so far. Today is day 2. We're super excited. It's been really great yesterday. The booth was packed with people. The demo are running like this, so we're super happy.
Nice. So tell me a little bit about what K-Array has at ISE this year.
this year we're bringing all of our, let's say, historic and unique pieces like the lizards and the vipers, but also we're introducing a few new products for all of our 3 brands, so K-Scape, K-Gear and KRA. Especially for KRA, speaking about uniqueness, we're bringing a new version of our famous Cayman speaker that now also features beam steering technology, which is a really interesting package because in that size of speaker we are providing more features than
very
before.
Cool.
Yeah, that's
so
a big thing.
Something that's really unique about you guys is that you have very unique speakers.
Yes.
I think some of the most unique in the industry. So
Thank
where
you.
does that inspiration come from to make something that looks so different from what everyone else is selling?
That's a good question. Nature, for sure, is something that we care about. The second thing is we try to change the technical approach. So we think a lot about the physics of sound. We think about how the tops or the subwoofers should behave, and we try to change the rules of technologies. Of course, sometimes it's hard to, it's a challenge for us every day to convince the industry.
Sound works different than everything else. Like, when you think about the way light works versus the way sound works, sound is so much more complicated.
Yeah, and people are used to certain technologies. So to fight that bias, let me say, is not easy.
Yeah.
But anyway, another thing we really care about is Italy. So we love Italy. We are based near Florence, and we try to manufacture all our products. We do it, and we don't just try. We manufacture all our products in Italy. So that's
awesome.
Still something we like to keep.
I like the way that you guys almost think about art first and then technology second, which I think is really hard to do in our industry. I think our natural inclination is to think, okay, here's this technological problem and how do we solve it? And KRA, I think, almost thinks, all right, we need to make this beautiful, and we also need to make it solve this problem.
Yes.
So I wanted to mention that you guys are great at doing that as well.
Well, thank you. For example, I'm thinking while you were talking about the Anaconda, I think no one ever built or ever thought about building a flexible line array speaker.
I've never seen another one on the market, that's for sure.
It took years, but finally, I think we proved something that if you have a cool idea, you will find a way to make it happen.
Yeah.
So that's what we did and what we try to do every day
That's
with
awesome.
our products.
Well, where can people find more information about KRA, and what booth are you guys in here
So
at ISE?
we have 2 booths. One is in the residential hall, so 2J300, and then we have the usual hall 7 booth at 7J300. So and all the information can also be found on the website, so kra.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Lorenzo. It was good getting
Thank
to talk
you.
to you here on Rave TV. I think that is our episode for the day. Don't forget to go to ravepubs.com/ISE. We are getting product videos up as we speak. We are very quick about it, so make sure to go and give those a watch if you want to see what's going on the show floor. Once again, I'm Steph Beckett, and we'll see you next time.
Ciao, ciao.
It's the weekly show about Pro AV with the hottest news in the AV industry. It's Rave TV. Give it up for Steph and Gary.
It's day 2 at ISE, and the floor is a buzz. We can't wait for you to see our next... Wait a minute. Ben? But what are you doing?
Here we are, ma'am. Your banana on a plate. Enjoy. Oh, hey, Sam. What can I get you?
Ben, we gotta go. The show's about to start.
Yeah, but I know, but they said I need to help out around the booth, so I got a shift at the coffee bar.
No, we gotta go. The show's about to start, and I need you, my wonderful co-host. It's time to go.
Let me check with the boss. Jefa, ¿puedo irme?
No.
Por favor.
No, tenés que trabajar allí.
Right. I kind of have a show I need to do, so it's double book myself. I'll tell you what, I'll come back tomorrow. I promise you, I'll be back tomorrow. Promise you, I'll be tomorrow.
No, tenés que volver. Esta gente. Hurry up, Ben. I'll be late.
Wow.
Everyone, and welcome back to AVIXA TV, live from ISE. We're back here on the set once again, of course, after Ben's little coffee break, on the second day of ISE's 20th anniversary celebration of the world's largest Pro AV event. And today's show promises to bring you an even more exclusive interviews, industry insights, and trends shaping the future of AV technology. I'm your host, Samantha Powell.
And I'm Ben Barnard, and wherever you're tuning in from, we're overjoyed to welcome you to Show 3. Sam, wow, so you've just experienced for the first time day 2 of ISE, famously the busiest of all. How are you feeling? Can you feel your feet? You covered a lot of ground today.
I wish you could walk in these shoes for as many miles as I have on day 2. But yeah, compared to day 1, I thought day 1 had a lot of attendees here. But I'm just my mind is blown to see how many more people are here today and just experiencing this wonderful event. What are your thoughts on day 2?
I mean, as I said before, I'm a bit of a veteran of the show, so I knew what to expect, but it never ceases to amaze.
Absolutely.
We've been on the show floor, and we look at some of our favorite things, which we're going to have a look at later. But it's just been amazing, and yeah, really pleased to be here. But I guess we should get to interviewing our first guest.
Yes, let's go ahead and get this show started. So our first guest is Sam Sabet, who is the Executive Vice President of Product Development and Chief Technology Officer at Shure. He's been helping to lead the way in staying ahead of industry trends and shaping the development of future audio technologies to meet the needs of our dynamic work and life environment. So, Sam, thank you so much for joining us on today's show.
Oh, my pleasure. How
is it going for you so far on your second day?
Oh, it's great. You're absolutely right. This place never ceases to amaze me. It's so busy. It's so vibrant. We've had a lot of interactions with new and old friends and customers. It's been great.
Oh, wonderful. So walking around this massive show and having over 8 halls to go through, if you're able to do all 8, I will give you a cookie. And over tens of thousands of attendees, coming all over the globe. How does your organization, how do they prepare for a show like this? I would assume, it takes a village. That saying would work really well for a show like this, but how do you guys get prepared?
You're absolutely right. It is a village, and that village happens to come from all over the world. We've got teams coming from everywhere you can imagine. We've been working feverishly getting the booth ready. The engineers have been polishing the last things on our products, and we've stacked the fridge with energy drinks, and we're all ready to go.
We'll be stopping by your booth often.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be necessary after the day we've had. So let's get down to it. I really want to know how Shure is driving innovation in the AV industry. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Absolutely. So, Shure has always been a leader in innovative solutions in the audio world, and this year is no exception as well. We've introduced a lot of new products. But it's not so much about the products. We have a very, very user-centric design process. We focus on the end customer, and that's really what drives our innovation, right? I like to say also that, at Shure, innovation doesn't belong to one group. It's everybody's business, it's everybody's job in the company. And so every one of us is thinking about, what will make our end users' life easier next.
Great stuff.
Wonderful. And as a newbie to the AV industry, I'm always hearing some new technology. It feels like it's almost weekly. So I'm sure it's hard to stay on top of all of that. But what recent advancements in audio tech have you found to be really exciting? And how do you see them shaping the future of our industry?
So, I'm going to use a word that's a buzzword in the industry today, and it's AI, of course, right? Everybody's a buzz with it, everybody's talking about it. But in the audio world, it's really having a real impact on our end user experiences. Shure is no stranger to innovating in the AI world. We've been working on algorithms for years. We've introduced new ones in our IMX room. We've added a lot of new products that kind of make a seamless experience to our customers, whether they're conferencing or whether they're in hybrid meetings. And let's be honest, the hybrid world has completely changed how we do business, and it's really something that's shaped everything we do today.
Yeah, just to go back a little bit to the driving of innovation, because I was really interested in what you were saying there, and obviously the pandemic caused us to lose a lot of things like these kind of events. Luckily we're back, we can run these kind of things, but I'm sure the pandemic itself accelerated some of the innovations that you had to make. Can you tell us about how that worked at Shure?
No, absolutely. As I said, innovation was always happening, and we were going to head in this direction no matter what. But I think we just, put it on steroids at this point with the pandemic. And I have to give credit where credit is due. The industry really pivoted and found solutions that were really innovative to make it easier for people to work. I don't think we missed a beat during the pandemic, right? It was amazing how people got together and still continued to do their work. And Shure was no stranger to that. We were in the forefront of that, so whether it's the pandemic or today's world where hybrid is here to stay, people are really never going to be 100% on site anymore,
yeah.
Right? And so having the solutions that allow for a seamless experience, for this immersive experience inside a meeting where half of the people are on site, where the rest are at home or all over the world, it's really in the forefront of everything we do today, right? And the most important thing there, obviously, is audio quality, right? You can't have a conversation or you can't have a meeting without great audio where you can understand what's happening, you can pick up on all the inflections and all the nuances of the meeting, and that's really what we're all about today.
Yeah.
Well, one things I'm sure of, yes, make that joke, I had to do it, is that Shure is known in the industry for providing, high quality audio products and producing reliable and innovative equipment. So how do you ensure compatibility, reliability, and making sure that your products are user friendly?
So, when we were talking about innovation, I said it's all about the user focus, right? So if you put yourself in the user's shoes and you think, what would make this an amazing experience? That's really where we head to. On top of that, you have to think about, an end user is dealing with a lot of technologies, whether it's video, audio, getting the meeting running. And so being able to integrate all that and work, compatibility is really important, right? You're at the end of the day, that end user who's having a meeting, with a hybrid, on-site, whatever it is, needs to be able to just press a button and have it work. And so that's really what we focus on. We have great partnerships with a lot of the industry leaders, and we will continue that to make it, as I'm going to use the word again, as seamless as possible, right? Because that's really what it's all about.
For sure, and and you've touched on this already, but just to reinforce that point, how important is user-centric design when it comes to Shure, when it comes to the flexibility and the ease of use of your products?
Yeah, so we actually, there's two camps or areas that we need to focus on when we talk about our users, right? There's our end users, who are the customers who are in meetings every day, and they're absolutely important. And as I mentioned, every decision we make in terms of ease of use is really around what's going to make them the most effective at doing their job. But in addition to that, our users are also the integrators and installers and the people who have to get the systems up and running in a short period of time. So your example about what we did with during the pandemic is very apropos, right? Because we had a very short period of time where we had to deploy a whole bunch of systems and make them work seamlessly again. I keep using that word because it is integral, right? It's all got to, technology only works when it's behind the scenes and the user can concentrate on their job. So anyway, to attack both of those, not only do we have features that make life easier for the end user, but we also have to do the same thing for integrators and installers. And we're putting a heavy focus on that today with our cloud offerings, with a lot of our tools that kind of redefine how you deploy meeting spaces.
Definitely, yeah.
And so customers' needs, they're always fluctuating, right? Similar to our own environments. So how do you anticipate the evolving demands and expectations of your consumers, and how does that impact the development of your future audio technologies at Shure?
So, I mean, user feedback is very important to us. We try to engage with our end customers, and there's no better place to do that than here, right? I mean, it just dealing with the customers today and having these conversations has been amazing. It's been a great experience, getting that feedback in real time and being able to understand what their needs are, what the use cases are, and you know, in our market, in this industry, the use cases are constantly changing, right? People are still trying to figure out today what's the most efficient way to work. Spaces are changing, needs are changing. People are deciding whether they should be in the office, whether they should be home, but we want to be able to address all of those concerns. And so engaging with the end customer immediately and continuously, one of our highest priorities.
Yeah, for real. And I mean, how much of a consideration is cybersecurity? Because again, you know, you mentioned that AI is a bit of a buzzword. I mean, cybersecurity as well. Like in a world where everything's connected, it needs to be kind of thought of. How important is that over at Shure?
Absolutely. And I mentioned also, you know, we're offering cloud offerings that simplify the workflow for our customers and our integrators. Well, anytime you introduce those sets of features, at your foreground, we should be thinking about how do we make sure that's secure as well, right? It's a very important topic, and we've been continuously improving that, and we work with lots of customers to make sure that we address all of the industry standards. But it's always an evolving field, and we're very much ahead of it today.
Definitely. Sam, thank you so much for joining us today. If people want to find out more while they're at the show, where's your booth?
Oh, absolutely. So I would love to see you there. Our booth is 3N as in Nancy, 300. Hope to see you there soon.
Top notch. Thank you so much again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Now, I think we all know how important a part cybersecurity is playing in our increasingly connected world. And up next, to help shed some light on this, we have an insightful and thought-provoking interview with the multi-talented Sean Reardon. Let's take a look.
Let's take a look.
We're here now with Sean Reardon. He's a cybersecurity expert speaking here at ISE. Sean, thanks for taking the time to stop by the AVIXA TV set.
Thank you very much. Fantastic event. Absolutely fantastic.
Yes, it really is.
Yeah.
Yes. So thank you for taking the time.
Yeah, sure.
As Pro AV becomes more and more networked AV, you've got a really important message in terms of cybersecurity. What are some of the key themes that you're going to be presenting here at ISE?
Yeah, very good point. So many of the companies here are either integrating or they're supplying their products to integrators for the wider industry. And the cybersecurity problems are in the gaps between the different systems. It's not deliberate, it doesn't have to be deliberate, but the end result can still be the same. So in an IT, it could affect the viewer's perception of what they're seeing. More importantly, there's a cyber-physical interface. And what this means is networked AV may be controlling camera movements, hoists, things that carry load. That cyber-physical interface has the potential to cause injury or worse. So I would say look at the holistic cybersecurity, not just your own system.
Yeah. And what are some of the tips then that companies can be taking to become more cyber secure?
Sure. Well, first and foremost, they've got to have the tone at the top. They've got to have the support of their leadership team to drive this forward. If you don't have that, it doesn't work. They've got to actively look at their risk. Look at the risk as it stands today and try and project that risk to the future, because regulation is driving this, and there are regulations coming.
Right. And not just regulations, but also this is a way for companies to differentiate themselves against their competitors, right?
Absolutely. The regulation I mentioned is called NIS2. It comes into European law October this year, and it puts a legal requirement on people to look at their supply chains. And it's not only the immediate supply chain, they will worry about all their supply chain as well. It's a legal requirement, there are legal penalties. So if a large company has a choice of two companies, those that have cybersecurity and those that don't, they are almost going to be forced to go with those that do.
Right.
So yes, it's a very much, and the NIS2 regulations, they won't go away, and they are very strict, and it doesn't only apply to the companies classed as essential and important, it also applies to their supply chain. So every company should be considering this now.
Yeah. So you really have to take responsibility over the entire process from a company's perspective.
And accountability as well.
Yep,
yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, Sean, we really look forward to hearing your talks here at ISE. Thanks so much again for stopping by. Sam and Ben, we'll send it back to you.
Yet another great interview by our own Mark Metzger, but wonderful information. It's really important to stay safe out there. Great interview.
Yeah, thanks so much, Mark. Now, joining us next to talk about, amongst other things, the European and Latin American AV Summit at ISE, we have our favourite Chairman of the Board of Directors at AVIXA and CEO of ICAP Global. It's Mr. Martin Saul. Martin, welcome to the show.
Thank you, man. Thank you, Sam. What a show. This is a great show. It's so crowded. It took 10 minutes to walk from there to here, so it's incredible.
I know, right? A great problem to have, you know, when you're fighting through the crowd. It's
so you need to look for the aisle that there are no people.
Exactly. And I mean, it's hard to believe, isn't it? You know, the way ISE has evolved over the years, and now with 20th anniversary, it's busier than ever, and post-pandemic recovery, it's really thrilling, right?
It's incredible. You know, you are here that it takes you some anxiety because you want to see there are 1,400 exhibitors here. So you are working and you need to see everything, and it's not possible. So whether you go to the summit, the European and Latin American summit, is great.
Definitely. So we'd love to get your thoughts on the European and LATAM AV Summit here at ISE.
Okay.
What stood out to you from the sessions that you attended?
Okay, I'm going to go to the start. Last year we were talking with the ISE staff about how important it is being here in Barcelona. Is a central point in between Latin America and Europe, also because of the language thing, the language barriers, also some difficulties for the people in Latin America to go to US sometimes. So it's becoming a bridge. It's becoming a place very interesting to be. Mm-hmm. So we were thinking how to connect the people that they are willing or they intend to have more relationship in terms of it. So the summit was incredible. The content was great. Something that surprised me is the level of the speakers. People from the governments of different countries, they were here. The United Nations people was here. People that do make investments and help companies to do interchange. And also there was another session that we were talking about artificial intelligence, talent development, innovation. So it's very, very important.
So really the hot topics that we're all discussing.
Yes. Something that I think is one of the best ideas that happened is when you're talking about how to develop talent, you are talking about people.
Yeah, definitely.
So, and we are in an industry that is growing faster than the GDP worldwide. So we are talking about how can we grow with the talent to address the needs we are going to have in 5 years, because we are growing 7% per year. So you need more people, you need more talent. Who is going to address this need? It's with artificial intelligence, it's with newcomers in the industry, is the people that is working in the industry, so they need to be re-skilled because maybe their job description changed, or maybe someone that has some skills, they did new ones. We were talking a lot about soft or human skill is better said than soft skill, hard skill that is needed, and also how can we help all the talent that is here to be more resilient and flexible to these changes.
Wonderful. And so you were talking about how, this conference is really geared to bringing more of the opportunities between these two regions together. So can you just delve in a little deeper about the importance of the European and Latin American AV summits and those goals that you were trying to achieve?
Yes, it's, something that happened is these people from Latin America that come here, people that is in Europe receiving people from Latin America, they really don't understand the dimension of our industry. This is, I think, the most relevant topic. There was a presentation about what is AV. So after this presentation, all the people come to me and say, oh, I need this presentation. Now I understand that this industry is so big, so wide, and this AV is everywhere. It's in the stadiums, it's in the rooms, in the schools, in retail stores. And they didn't realize how important and how relevant is the AV. Because we are all day with the AV. We are with the phones doing Zoom, and they are becoming more realistic about that this matters. And also the other point that is we want to address is relationship. So relationship matters. So if we establish relationship, if we can connect people, relationship is the first step to begin business. If there is no relationship, there is no other opportunity. So I think this is what we are going to.
So, as I alluded to before, you are the chairman of the board of directors at AVIXA, El Jefe. What are you looking forward to most in 2024 in terms of our industry and our association?
Too many things,
Name them all.
No, but when you come to this strategic conversation and you analyze the context, there are a lot of ideas that come from different parts of the world because we are global. So I know what we want to first is understanding the context, where we are now, what is the needs that our membership has. We try to create programs to help them to understand what is the future, what is next, what do you have to do today, and what do you need to think about in the future. So how do you are going to be prepared for what is next. So we are trying to enhance the experience in presence by exposition or giving the people the space to do networking, to connect.
Yeah.
Also offline, like exchange or AVIXA TV. So the content should be available 24/7 and also in different languages. That is something that I like it. Spanish.
Yeah, definitely.
And the idea is that the relationship don't finish in the exposition, that is constantly going. And also becoming a part of guidance for the memberships. I think that this is the most important thing, to create the ambient for the industry to grow and continue developing the workforce, the professional skills, being the hub of the industry. AVIXA mission is being the catalyst for the market growth and the hub of the industry.
And so you did just mention workforce development, and obviously, that is a very important topic for all industries, including our very own. And in order to, continue with these, innovations and things, we need to grow our workforce, diversify that. So can you just speak a little bit to the importance of the momentum that it comes with that workforce development and our efforts in our industry?
So how can we help with the workforce development?
Yeah, and how can we keep that momentum going? Like, we need to continue to discuss that.
Yes, we're doing a lot of effort from the foundation. The foundation is, his mission is to create opportunities to bring new people to the industry. There is a word that defines, we should be a portal for the newcomers to the industry. this is what we try to be. So we are bringing new programs, new education sessions, new subjects about the session, bringing people from the IT world to the AV world, standardizing the solutions. Like we have standardized platform now, so it's becoming very easy. I think this is what we are trying to do more and more, and all the time changing, elevating the level of the education program we have.
Definitely. And Martin, we couldn't possibly end without talking about your good friend Brad Souza. Last year, the industry lost a leading light far too soon. What can you tell us about the Brad Souza Impact Fund and how it honors his legacy?
You know, Brad Souza was a very close friend of mine. We've been together for a while. We're partnered in GPA, so we had a lot of conversation. He was a great listener, so someone very creative, very passionate about the industry, a lot of fear giving to the industry. So now we are trying to make a tribute to him with the Impact Fund. It's a good tribute that I think all the AV community is doing. It's just a beautiful thing, having this fund with his name, because it is kind of giving back a little bit of all he made for the industry. It was wonderful, and also very innovation is the word that reflects his image. So we want to give back a little bit to his family and all the community.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with him, and we miss him dearly. So Thank you so much. So I really appreciate you taking the time to sit with us today. It's been an honor and a pleasure.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Enjoy the rest of the show. Thank you.
All right, so up next, let's take a look at AVIXA's Mark Metzger again and an interview with Userful's CEO to introduce us to their new product that's geared to modernize control room. Let's take a look.
We're here now with John Marshall, the CEO for Userful. John, how are you doing?
Doing very well today from freezing cold Calgary.
Absolutely, yes. Hopefully things are a little bit warmer. We're recording this before Barcelona, but hopefully by the time we're there in Spain, things will be nice and warm for us. We're excited to talk to you today about a new announcement that Userful has about a new quad play system that is going to really offer some new solutions for control rooms in particular. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. What we're seeing in the industry over the last couple of years are large organizations need and desire to operate more and more efficiently. Enterprises, government, healthcare organizations are putting in place centralized monitoring, management, control rooms that will allow for them to keep tabs on their business. The quad play solution needs to provide for control room monitoring, video walls, operator workstations, war rooms where if there's a crisis event, essential workers can come together to identify how to resolve the crisis. And then last, interact with those remote operations and provide notifications and alerts on how to change behavior. And what Userful's done is taken what historically in the AV world were 4 different solutions. We've brought them together as one package, and we offer that as one offering, one license that can be delivered either on-premise behind a very, very secure firewall or in part through cloud-based services, creating a hybrid offering. And it's the first of its kind in the market.
There are a lot of emergent technologies right now, too, that are also contributing to this solution, right?
Absolutely. We've taken the very, very best technology from NVIDIA. We've combined it with audio from companies like Dante. We've put that together with highest quality video streams, ensuring that up to 8K content can flow all the way through our system and appear through controllers on narrow pixel pitch LED walls, through partnership with companies like Novastar, Unilumin, and others. And bringing all of that together in one integrated platform is what we're showcasing in Barcelona at ISE.
And obviously, you've listed a number of sort of maybe traditional applications for this technology, but there are also some new opportunities as well, right?
We're seeing more of the surveillance integrate with KPI and dashboard monitoring. As that unfolds into the digitally transformed world, what we're finding is that more and more AV integrators are being joined by ICT or IT integrators who are looking to bring solutions to mainstream business that integrate data services with audio and video.
Well, selfishly, John, AVIXA is offering a new certification for IT professionals in particular, and I know you've had a chance to check it out a little bit. Would love to get your impressions on what kind of a need could this fill for the AV and IT gap in one sense?
You know, coincidentally, I started that course this week myself just to check it out. And part of my selfish interest was AV can appear very threatening to a lot of organizations. Enterprises increasingly wanting to blend AV services into their digital transformation experience. And so I've looked for content, quality content material that can help bring the IT backgrounded individual into a place of feeling more comfortable and familiar. And that course is absolutely fabulous. And we're planning on encouraging all of, whether it be our IT customers or our IT partners who are looking for more familiarity and information about AV, we're going to guide them to AVIXA onto that course.
Well, we appreciate the support. Thank you so much for your time, John, and we'll be looking forward to seeing you and everyone from Userful in Barcelona.
Thank you.
All right. Now we have the pleasure of speaking with 3 esteemed AV experts in the industry that I'm so looking forward to speaking with for a candid discussion that addresses the critical intersection of AV technology and environmental responsibility to create sustainable practices to help us meet the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals. So welcome Piet, Kristin, and Lode. I'm so glad that you're joining us today. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Awesome. How are you enjoying the show so far?
It's been fantastic. I'm loving it. It's my first ISE, and I'm so happy to be here.
Mine too, so we can compare notes. Wonderful, wonderful. So if you each could you share just a little bit about yourself and what makes you so passionate about sustainability in our industry? So if you want to, yes, you.
Piet, go for it.
Piet. I'm Piet from the Delft University, and this is a scientific university where students have their heart for the climate, so they really trigger us to think about it. And when we had our bold statement from the university that we must be climate neutral by 2030, we got this student coming in helping us with, let's say, imagining the life cycle analysis. So we now know the complete life cycle of products, and we worked on that, and it was really shocking what we could do and we do not do yet. So that is my quest on AV, green AV now.
That's a great quest.
Yes. And you, Kristin?
What was your question? Sorry.
So just tell me a little bit about yourself, and then what makes you so passionate about sustainability in our industry?
Sure. My name is Kristin Bidwell. I'm the managing consultant at ACT Associates out of Boston, and we are AV design consultants. I've always had a passion for sustainability. I grew up recycling. I grew up in California. We had a very green household. So I've always been passionate about that from a very young age. And so being able to help the industry become sustainable has always been a passion.
Thank you. Wonderful.
Wonderful.
Lode?
I'm a bit in the same sense. So first of all, of course, in Europe you have a lot about sustainability. So I always say you have to do what you preach. So we have to follow the rules of the European Union and try to do it as much as I want. The second thing is I have 2 girls that are vegan. I have 3 daughters and 2 are vegan. When you're in that mindset, they sort of push you to go to a sort of greener way of living and doing things in a proper way. So it became natural. But Kristin, it became natural to do something in sustainability for me.
Yeah, definitely. You've actually just been speaking on a panel earlier about sustainability in the AV industry. Can you share with us, how that went and any of the key takeaways that you had from that panel?
I really thought that the audience was very enthusiastic, and I think that green AV as a word got a new definition and new domain and attracted people and think about it. And I felt that feeling from the audience, but also on the trade show. I think it's really inspiring. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Any other thoughts from the panel? Any key takeaways?
Well, for me, the biggest takeaway that I had was that we all agreed that training for the people in sustainability was important. And that came from Kelly, who worked for Rave. And she said, yeah, we have to force it, we have to find training methods to put people in that mindset of sustainability. And I think that was a big takeaway for me anyway.
Yeah. For me, I've found that different areas value sustainability more in their business goals and how they're operating and how they're building products. So certain areas of the world really value it, and we see it in the EU. Obviously, there's rules and regulations already implied. In other countries, not so much. So that was a very interesting topic that we talked about. Also, how do we get started? So, it's really just starting, right? Taking that first step and implementing what works well for your business strategy.
Yeah, definitely. And I know that Kelly Perkins, who was on the panel with you as well, couldn't make it, but she's also involved with this SAVE organisation, which is it's a green AV initiative. So I'm sure people at home can look that up and find out more about that. With that, in her absence, we'll do a little plug for that.
And so I know we had mentioned the 2030 development goals a little bit earlier, but for those watching at home and maybe some in our audience here, can you just give us a little background on what the 2030 sustainability development goals actually are?
Sure. Those old goals were... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Please.
All right. Those goals were created by the UN. 4 goals for 2030. Different rules that, you could go on the UN website and look up what those are. The good thing about those is there's something for everyone. So some are waste management, some's about water, some is about recycling, some equality. There's different things that companies can pull from because matching all of those goals may be difficult or impossible depending on what kind of company you are, but pulling a few of them really give you a nice base starting point to grow your company or grow your sustainability plan.
Fantastic. Pete, were you going to add anything?
Yes, because 2030 is about 6-7 years, and if we want to be climate neutral, if we want to fulfill these next horizon with their targets, target is a business, but if we want to be climate neutral by 2030, we need to do a lot. But first we need to be aware what we have and what we can do. That's why we started with what we call the embodied footprint. That is, you buy products, and in those products, the energy of the makers and the minerals and the mining of all the stuff, you buy it inherently into your product. So you already have a very large footprint without even noticing. And that was our first step to make that clear. Okay, what do we have in the house? And now we have to go further in, for instance, the energy use of these products. And AV is also electronic equipment, of course.
Yeah.
But within our learning situation, we have furniture as well, and lighting and climating, etc. But my focus first is on think big, start small, take things which are tangible within my own field, and that's where I focus on.
Yeah, Pete, that was a great answer, but I can't believe you're breaking my heart telling me 2030 is only 6 years away. I'm absolutely unbelievable. And I know at TU Delft, your focus is on quality of teaching in those teaching and learning spaces. Yes. How has striving for sustainability helped or hindered that effort?
If you're reading in and know more about this equipment, then you can add sustainability to your quality of services and to your best of equipment that you want to do. But think through about how you can extend these products. And the first thing is, of course, the software and the hardware from the market pushes you to buy new equipment, and that we have to stretch that up. So there's a message to the manufacturers as well, but also to the IT world to think about that so we can stretch the lifespans of the equipment.
And so, how do I put this graciously? Do you think our industry and just other organizations, are they truly really invested in sustainability, or is it more of just, oh, let's just say that we are, check the box, and then nothing really comes out of that? Lode?
If you had asked me that 2 years ago, I would have said it's only ticking the box that they're doing. But we see more and more that manufacturers, integrators, consultants, end users are thinking about it and actually making an effort to become more sustainable. So now, yes, I say that it's not ticking in the box, it's actually doing something. So it's a good time to ask it. So yes, they're doing it now.
But it is complex and wide, and you have to start somewhere. And at least if we as end customers ask them for it, the integrators and the industry should think about it. And I notice it already with the let's say the discussions that we had on the trade show, that it's on the agenda, but you cannot change that in 1 year or 2 years. So that's why 2030 is so short. It's almost tomorrow for these kind of steps.
And Kelly, the final, sorry, Kristin, the final word to you.
Yeah, I actually have a different perspective. I think in the EU, it's a it's a well-known fact, right? Like, you're doing sustainability. There's rules and regulations in place. Everyone seems much more forward-thinking on this than other countries, including the United States. So I do see some companies in the U.S. Yes, full on. Let's do sustainable design. Let's make our integration firm sustainable. There's definitely people that are very forward-thinking and trying to match something that's going on in the EU. There's other companies that are, oh, what do I have to do to check this box to look marketable enough to sell my services? So I think in the United States there is definitely still that, is this real? Do I have to do it? What do I tell my marketing team? So it's a mixed bag in the United States.
Definitely. Unfortunately, that's all we've got time for. I can't believe the time's gone so quickly, but I just want to say thank you to all of you, not just for your time today, but for bringing attention to what is an incredibly important subject on the panel earlier. And yeah, good luck with all the continued efforts. We look forward to seeing how they evolve.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Now, every year at ISE, you can find incredible tech tours, and this year is no different. Barcelona now hosts the greatest sailing show on Earth. Located in the Port Vell between the Ineos Britannia and the Alinghi Red Bull bases, the new America's Cup experience aims to enlighten the public about the historic yacht race before it comes to the shore in August 2024. ISE Tech Tours will have witnessed the replica of the famous old trophy that nations have striven to win since 1851, alongside a giant LED screen and an immersive 360-degree space before walking through the entertainment corridors through to the 100-screen America's Cup Timeline exhibition. Let's take a look.
Let's check it out.
Hi, this is Leon. I'm at the Port of Barcelona here at ISE. We just finished up a tech tour. We're at the 37th America's Cup experience, and we have some pretty cool tech to check out. We're here in the lobby, or really it's more like a giant atrium. One of the really cool things about it is this foil that we've got above my head that is there to kind of help you get a sense of the scale of the actual boats. But another thing that's really cool is this screen behind me. One great thing on this tour is one of the first things that we experience, which is this amazing film that's shown on one of the largest screens, actually the second largest screen in all of Europe. And we get to experience what it is that this sport means to this country and so many other countries. You really get a sense of the peril, the drive, the passion that they have. And then as soon as you walk out of that, we come into this room here, which has, I believe, over 100 different individual screens. But at some point, they all start to work together. So they each show their individual pieces of content, but then occasionally you see things like these wipes that are going across, where you've got content from all the way on the left, all the way to the right. But not just left to the right, you also have top to bottom. Throughout the entire tour here, you get a chance to see some really cool things. Not just digital stuff, but you also have some physical artifacts here, like these are the suits that the teams actually wear, and they devote a lot of time to talk about history, so you see suits from other eras as well. But then you come around the back, and there's this nice balance between the technological and the physical. So now we've got these interactive screens here, where there's a touch screen, you tap it, the content plays, so you get a nice blend in this entire experience.
us. You're talking to us.
So what an incredible segment we have there for, and we spoke actually yesterday to Stephen Nuttall as well about the America's Cup coming to Barcelona. So a really good pop-up exhibition there for anyone looking to get a little bit more involved and figure out what America's Cup is.
I'm so excited. Yeah, it was such a great interview with him yesterday, and I'm just really thrilled about that race. So everybody check it out.
You're going to go pop down and see it.
Go do that.
Next, we're joined by our market intelligence gurus, Sean Wargo and Peter Hansen, as we take a look at the latest data and trends in our industry. Sean, Peter, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having us. Always great to be here.
So you've survived the famous day 2 of ISE, traditionally the busiest one. How's it been?
It's been great. Lots of great technology to see here on the trade show floor. I think what we were most interested to kind of look at is AI. And actually, I'm surprised at how little there really has been on the floor, even though it's a hot topic as we listen to conversations.
Yeah, for sure. Peter, how about you? How's it been for you today?
As a researcher, you live with a lot of data and you read a lot of perspectives on trends, and it's just so exciting to see it live, in person, what's going on. And just one more piece, it's how vibrant it is, how much new technology is. You can really see how we've kind of moved past the pandemic, number one, and then moved out of supply chains, number two, and are in this kind of like true AV coming back era.
Absolutely. So, I mean, speaking about coming out of the pandemic, I know during that time the whole experience economy was completely put on hold. People couldn't go out and do stuff. What stage of the recovery process are we at in terms of the experience economy at the moment?
Yeah, I think that's the area we're certainly seeing the most growth. Over the last few years, it really was about adaptation to remote, hybrid, all that sort of stuff. So clearly, today, certainly conference and collaboration are our largest solution area as an industry, but where there is the most meaningful growth now and over the next 5 years is really in the experience economy. So live events, fixed install performance entertainment, the media and entertainment industries, those kind of spaces is really where we're seeing the energy. You can see it as you walk through the show floor as well.
Yeah, I mean, we're lucky that we're here, an absolutely buzzing show. As we said, we went round to have a look at some of our favourite things of the show earlier, and I mean, we could barely get a camera set up without somebody walking through the shot. You know, good problem to have.
So we were talking a little bit about the supply chain. So help enlighten me. So where are we with that? Are we still, having some challenges and difficulties there, or are we able to get our products out quickly? So where do we stand in terms of the supply chain issues?
Things aren't perfect yet. There's still a little bit of hangover, but we have a data set dating back to kind of late summer of 2022, and that shows the top issue for AV providers each month. In that start, it was like half of respondents saying supply chains are our biggest issue. It kind of is steady that like September, October, November 22, and then it comes cascading down. And about maybe 4 or 5 months ago, it stopped being the number one, and now it's like very middle of the pack alongside issues like, recession, business cycle, hiring, retention, and actually the second highest response for that in the most recent month was no significant issues, which is like, wow. Hey, that's exciting, and that's higher than supply chain. So yeah, there are lingering issues. It's definitely a little bit of a bugaboo for maybe some certain brands, certain product types, but it's a lot better.
Okay, that's good to hear.
Yeah, that's amazing news. I mean, I remember the point at which, during the pandemic, I was lucky enough to participate in some kind of virtual kind of hybrid events where we'd be in a COVID-safe TV studio, a bit like this, and we would talk about, all we would talk about was supply chain, the cost of shipping containers, how much it's gone up, just exploded over the during the pandemic, and great to hear that that's starting to come down.
Yeah, I'll add to that. Certainly there is, as Peter kind of mentioning, there's lingering areas where that's still an issue, but perhaps even more pronounced. It's created what we've been referring to as a bullwhip effect in the market.
Yeah.
So back in 2022 into 23, there were integrators that were buying up what they could, whatever inventory was available, so that they could at least be partially kitted for a project that they were going to be taking on. They were waiting for that final component. as we're hearing, the supply chain issues, they are mitigating enough. They're starting to get those core components, but that's created an effect where they may not be buying some other stuff that they were in the past. So you've got this unevenness now in the marketplace where some categories doing really well, there's robust shipments, there's robust sales, and other it's been a little bit more, it's slowed down as kind of everything catches up to itself.
Yeah.
You know, at this point, the integrator installer is really more the bottleneck of sorts because they've been waiting for a component that's now freeing up. So they're busy, they're fulfilling demand, but they've been waiting for that key product. So that's starting to help. We expect as we go into this year, now that we're in 2024, that starts to even out the result, and we have much more level set around growth for the industry.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, we couldn't possibly, you touched on this a little bit earlier, but we couldn't possibly talk about trends and have a conversation on that without mentioning AI, the word that's on everyone's lips. The two of you have been at the show for a couple of days now. You've been listening to conversations, watching presentations. Can you tell us a little bit about what you've been seeing, what you've been hearing on that subject?
Yeah, that was the topic for our global partner meeting this morning. The folks who are really some of the most data savvy companies at this show, what they requested. They wanted to know about AI and how it's impacting our industry, how companies can confront it. And a couple of takeaways. One is that AI is just the technology, and that's the tip of the iceberg. So much is what you build on it. I mean, the way you take it into your processes, the skills that you use to take advantage of it, to leverage it, and other technologies that are built on top of it. Then another piece that I will say is our most recent quarterly report, which was from late last year, was on the topic of AI and AV, and that has really a lot of industry-specific data on it. Just one piece that I will say is on where those our kind of survey respondents there, our insights community, identified as the biggest benefits to AV company. 31%, I think, if I got the number exactly right off my head, said that it would be, that the primary benefit would be workers doing their work more effectively, and then just a little bit less, but another huge percent said it would be cutting costs because workers are doing things faster.
Yeah.
And to compare that to, and I know I have this numbers right, just 2% that said that it's going to be replacing workers. So it's super clear to our industry that AI is about making a better AV worker, not replacing an AV worker. So I think that's just one of the several important insights in that report.
Yeah, I'd say it's certainly very early days for AI. As I kind of reflect back on my previous comment, as you walk through the show floor, it's just starting to be part of the fabric of say, product offering, feature set, that sort of thing. I think that reflects, we're a very pragmatic industry. We wait for technology to be reliable, to have clear use case, to have clear support from vendor all the way through the channel, so that when we bring that technology into integration projects, we know that it's going to be cost effective, it's going to do the job that we need.
Yeah.
So I think our industry is good at kind of sniffing out, what's too cutting edge, what is not quite ready for them to truly integrate into their project work. So it's early stage. We've referred to it as kind of hype cycle a little bit. Everybody's talking about it. But it's an exciting part of kind of what is future, what's possible, and that's the type of thing we're starting to see.
Yeah, and great to hear that people are finally starting to embrace it and be less afraid of it in terms of it stealing our jobs and stuff like that. So that's great news.
And so bringing something back a little bit more to traditional, let's say, workforce, if you will, what data do we have in terms of like the corporate office market? How are things going now? I know, a lot of people are hybrid, remote, but now I think we're seeing a lot more companies wanting their their employees to really come back into the work?
Yeah, we've been referring to it as kind of an experimentation phase. So there was a lot of investment. So corporate conference and collaboration, that was one of the few areas during the pandemic that actually grew each year in a period when you had massive decline across the market. So that's a strong story. What that meant, though, is that companies were investing to adapt. They made, say, experimental kind of contributions to that area. They're now sort of assessing where they are. There was threats of recession. They thought maybe we would have a pullback in consumer. So they were a little bit planning for that potential decline. So I think conference and collaboration, you could say it's taking a bit of a breather. It's not going away, it's not declining, but the growth rate that we had seen is certainly coming down to less than average kind of level at this point, which is why, return to previous comment, much more opportunity in, say, experiential, live events, performance entertainment. While I think conference and collaboration starts to pick back up, companies reevaluate where they were, they get more feel for what is a standard guideline kind of recommended approach, and they start building that out. That's kind of where we see over this year into next year things perhaps recovering and increasing again. Yeah.
And one quick note about that, our next report coming out, it's not even finished being written yet, but probably coming out at the end of February roughly, is on the corporate office market, conferencing and collaboration, really trying to help our industry measure and understand what norms are starting to develop, what best practices are out there. Now that we're a little bit removed from the pandemic, a couple years into hybrid working, what can we say so far? Nothing too certain, but something hopefully really useful to the channel.
Yeah, definitely. Well, they say time flies when you're having fun, and it certainly has here. We're all out of it. If people want to find out a little bit more or see some of the reports, where can they find those?
So come to AVIXA.org, to our market intelligence pages. A lot of great information there. Certainly can reach out to us at Wargo@avixa.org for more information or questions. Yeah.
Great job. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much. We have the best market intelligence team.
We do. Yeah, I think that's safe to say.
I think so. Oh my gosh, are we at the end of the show? That went by so fast.
I know. As I say, time flies when you're having fun.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Maybe I'll be able to make it back in time for the end of my shift at the coffee shop.
Yeah, I definitely need a coffee. Yeah. Well, why don't we go ahead and look forward to what's coming up tomorrow.
Let's do it.
So tomorrow we'll be speaking with Matthew Jacks from Lutron to talk about what they're seeing in the market. Then we'll be sitting down with Craig Durr to talk about how AI has improved conferencing technologies in recent years, as well as some of the challenges it also presents. Following that, Dave Haynes with 16.9 will give us some insights to what's trending right here at ISE. We're going to start that. I have a feeling my friends at home didn't hear me when I was talking about what's coming up tomorrow.
I mean, that's terribly sad. Should we give it another go?
They missed out that if they, tuned in, we were going to give them, a lot of money. But oh well, they missed that code, so we'll start over.
Okay, listen. Shall I crack my coffee shop joke again?
Yes,
no, you can just go straight into it. Go.
All right, everybody. So, on tomorrow's show, we'll be speaking with Matthew Jacks from Lutron to talk about what they're seeing in the market. Then we'll be sitting down with Craig Durr with the Futurum Group to talk about how AI has improved conferencing technologies in recent years, as well as some of the challenges it also presents. Following that, Dave Haynes with 16.9 will give us some insights to what's trending right here at ISE. And finally, AVIXA's very own Sarah Joyce and Wendy Griffiths from CEDIA will give us their exclusive recap of the 20th anniversary of Integrated Systems Europe. So, here we go.
I mean, we're finishing strong, right?
I think so. I should start singing a tune.
Yeah. You can play the part. I reckon that is good.
I'll channel my inner Whitney. So, but it's been a wonderful show.
It has indeed.
Can't wait to do it again tomorrow. And everyone, thanks for watching AVIXA TV live from ISE.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.
What's next in wireless? Meet the Shure Microflex Wireless Next 2. It's a snap to set up, and it's perfect for all your spaces. Like this, and yeah, even that. And with a variety of available mics, everyone can hear and be heard. So what's next in wireless? The all-new, all-in-one MXW Next 2.
Yes, I'm standing here in front of the Ames booth where we're displaying many partners, almost a dozen partners that are showing interoperability between all of their IPMX solutions. This has been a great show, and we've generated a lot of interest with that kind of demo.
IPMX is the new standard for video over IP, an extension of the SMPTE 2110 standards.
The demonstration was able to tie together all of these elements on a large LED wall, which was powered by an LED wall processor that was ingesting the content from all of the networks and all of the devices on the networks natively as an IP input instead of a baseband HDMI or SDI input. Essentially, what's been happening in this demonstration is the sharing of content between different network profiles, the sharing of content between brands, the sharing of content between hardware and software nodes, and the ability to demonstrate all of this on an LED wall, capturing this entirely in IP.
In addition to our baseband standards of being able to handle DisplayPort, HDMI, and 12G SDI, we've now added the support for IPMX and SMPTE 2110.
For me, the real highlight of the show was really the level of traction and interest that we were able to generate this year. We've had a lot of manufacturers came to visit us, showed a great interest in this open standard solution that we're promoting, and we're very proud of the work that we've been able to achieve.